A lackluster day for South African markets, ending the day only just in positive territory. We were up a little earlier, slightly more. Tell us about what exactly is driving the market right now, because it seems to be a tale of two worlds. We're looking at the Greek scenario, we're worried about US economic data, and now, most recently, we're worried about Chinese growth.
Without a doubt, and we're worried about the Chinese market as well. The Chinese index is under pressure, obviously very commodity driven, that index, and obviously leading into our index. The big resource stocks, Anglo's Bulletin, under pressure. And really that's really where the focus is at the moment. We've got to get past this Greek debt issue. China's got to come out of this poor data scenario, and America out of that scenario. And until that happens, I don't see our market charging up or rebounding at all.
Does that mean that you're holding off in terms of buying into equities? Are you downgrading your equity holdings?
No, most certainly not. I'm most certainly not selling an Anglo's on 7 or 8 times its earnings multiple. I'm certainly not selling Exaro on that type of multiple either. But I'm certainly not adding to my position. I'm just going to wait and see. If you aren't long, these are great levels to get long. But just cautiously, just pick your levels. Every 10 Rand down in Anglo's, buy some more. But don't just jump into this market in one go. There could be some more downside. We are under pressure, and I don't know if we're going to get out of it for the next couple of weeks to month.
Naspers down 1.63%, also down late last week. A lot of concern about Tencent, but then again, this is always what we're seeing. And then we also saw that Goldman Sachs placed a buy on Naspers. So again, we're seeing conflicting views here. Do you think that Naspers is still going to be the darling of the JSE? And it has, of course, been for some time.
Well, let's first have a look at Tencent being under pressure. You had in China and Hong Kong, they raised the margins on Tencent. That's for people that were long single stock futures or futures on Tencent. And that caused Tencent to come off. Tencent's come off about 10 Hong Kong dollars. Naspers is coming off about 15 Rand. I certainly don't expect Naspers to perform as it has performed over the last year and a half to 2 years. I mean, that type of growth is unrealistic. But I certainly think at some point you've got to get long some Naspers. Nothing's actually changed in the Tencent business, and nothing's actually changed in the Naspers business other than margins being increased. You saw what happened to silver futures and silver's price with the raising of margins a couple of weeks ago. This is the same type of thing for Tencent, and I think you've got to look at picking Naspers up if there's some further downside.
Let's look at Telkom. We know we saw dismal numbers coming through. Telkom not doing that bad given the numbers that were released in today's session. Do you think this is as bad as it's going to get? Should we start pricing in the good news after they've made the tough decision to sell off multi-links and perhaps close it down as opposed to selling it off? We know that that didn't work out for them.
Well, I was listening to the market commentator before, and I must say I agree with his comments. For me, Vodacom and an MTM are far better propositions in the space. I know both of them don't have the fixed line business, but I certainly think on the dividend yields that they're offering, you can see that these telecom companies like Vodacom and NTM have increased the dividend payout ratios. And if you look at how cheap they are from an earnings basis, I certainly see no reason to buy Telkom. I prefer MTN and Vodacom well before I'd buy Telkom.